Hey guys, what's going on? In today's video, I'm going to walk you through my entire lead management slash CRM system for Smartlead. So what I mean by lead management system is essentially a lead category update. So in a previous video, I explained how I handle my reply management. So AI drafts us a response, how we can update a lead category. And in this workflow, we're going to touch on the lead category update. So once we change this lead category or label for a lead, we're gonna trigger a couple different events based on the lead category, and we're going to update our CRM. Now, when I'm talking about CRM, I just mean a Google spreadsheet, very simple Google spreadsheet in this case. It works. It works very well. You don't need any fancy CRM softwares, in my humble opinion. So for this, we're just using a Google spreadsheet. So you're going to have a couple thousand, tens of thousands of contacts in here. And what we're going to do essentially is find the contact, update the lead category in this column. And like I said, we are going to trigger a couple different events as well. So let's get right into it. So let's take a look at what we're actually doing here. So we got our CRM spreadsheet here, and the main thing I want to achieve in this spreadsheet is update the lead category. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm in my smart lead, and let's say this is a meeting request. So let's take a look. Now this should any time now. It's taking a bit longer than expected. Yeah, there it is. Meeting request. Awesome. So this is a very good way to keep track of all your contacts you're running cold emails to, and use a spreadsheet as an actual CRM. So you know which leads you actually send emails to, and if they are interested, right? So we got all the lead categories. Um, if they're do not contact, we never contact them ever again. If they're not interested, we might hit them up in a couple more in a couple months. You get the point, right? So this is the main thing I want to do within this spreadsheet. Now, I also have a another spreadsheet. Now, if you're working with multiple clients, so if you're a lead gen agency, a spreadsheet like this can be very useful. So what I want to do with this spreadsheet is see it as some sort of a pipeline for all the clients I have. So I get all the interested replies from all my clients into this single spreadsheet. So this is basically a spreadsheet you would use per client or for yourself with all the contacts, every single one. So everyone we're reaching out to, and this is all the interested leads. So this is a great overview of who's in our pipeline. Now, all of this should populate as well, but yeah, for this lead, for this example, I just put in my first name, but yeah, we should get the phone number here as well. So this is great if we want to get all of our interested lead and just rip through these, call up the warm replies is what I mean, right? And book some meetings. So that's what we're going to build. Okay. Now let's take a look at our actual make.com flow. I'm going to put the blueprint to this make.com flow in the description of the video. So you can just download it, copy and paste it in your own Make account, just upload this flow and fill out the variables. That's all you got to do, literally. Now, I'm going to put this template, this CRM template in the description as well, so you can just plug and play this. Now, before we go further, this is a more advanced make workflow. Now, it's actually not that hard, but what I mean is I'm not going into the full nitty gritty of how to do all these things. Otherwise, this video is going to take hours if I do that. So I'm just going over the flow and explaining what's happening in each module so you can just follow along and fill it out for yourself. Now, if this is your very first time in Make, this might seem a bit overwhelming, but you can just ask ChatGPT for help or just message me on LinkedIn or comment on the YouTube video, and I'll be more than happy to help. So let's get right into this. So this is our trigger. Now, a webhook, a Smartlead webhook that's going to get triggered for a lead category update. Now, you can look up how to install a webhook within Smartlead, lead category webhook. So that's our trigger. Now, we got a couple different paths depending on what the lead category actually is. So let's take a look at the first one. So if it's a do not contact, this is the filter, right? So we're only going through this branch if it's a do not contact. Then we are going to extract the domain and we want to add it to our block list. So that's what we want. If I label a lead as a do not contact, Smartlead would ask you, if you do it through this way, Smartlead would ask you to add the lead to the block list as well. But I'm also using Smartlead's AI lead category, so it's going to automatically label a do not contact basically, and it's also going to automatically add it to the block list through this flow. Okay, so this is very handy if you just use the native AI smart lead category update. So we're going to extract the domain with this text parser, and we're going to add it to the block list. So this is what you gotta fill out here, and the domain will get added to uh, to our global block list. Now, I made a distinction between these two. If it's generic, a generic domain, what I mean is a Gmail, an Outlook, a Yahoo. I actually don't want them to add to the block. Actually, I do, but we only add the email and not the domain because Gmail, etc., is very common. And if we add gmail.com to our global block list, we're not going to send out any other Gmails within our entire Smart Lead. And I don't want that. You could leave this out if you also want it to your block list, but whatever. So we have a filter here which says generic email. So if our domain contains Gmail, Outlook, etc., we are just going to add the email address and not the domain itself. So the next thing is we are going this direction as well. This is just a date formatter. We're going to fetch the client associated with the specific lead. And here are also going to happen a couple different things. So let's follow along with this branch right here. So this is the actual CRM update. So first, we are going to fetch the client's spreadsheet ID. What I mean is you want to make another very simple spreadsheet or Airtable, whatever, where you have your client name and the spreadsheet ID of the CRM. Now, this right here in the URL, this is your, I hope you can see this. This is your spreadsheet ID. So this is what we want. And we're going to make a very simple one, and we're just going to put it here. So that's what we're doing in this module. Then we are going to input this variable, our spreadsheet ID. So if you're working with different clients, obviously, otherwise you can just leave out the fetch client if it's just yourself. But if you're working with different clients, then you want to use this, right? So we are going to find the email, right? See if the email matches. Then we are going to update, right? So column J with the actual category, all right, with lead category name. Now I have an error handler here as well. It's going to send a ClickUp task. You can do a Slack message as well if you get an error here. But what this error handler does is if we don't find the email, so let's say someone sends from a response from a different email that wouldn't be in your CRM, this one would give an error. And if it's an error, we still want to know, right? So we could maybe update our CRM manually. And that's why we would send a ClickUp or a Slack message as well, in case it's an error. Now, I didn't show you this one yet, I suppose. So I also have a different tab right here for all the meetings booked. So yeah, let's just do this real quick. Yeah, so if the lead books a meeting, they are gonna get added here as well. Yep, there he is. Mm, I might need to check what's going on with the date there. It looks like it didn't format the date correctly. Usually it does. But yeah, I'm not sure. This should just be formatted like this. Um, anyway, I'm going to take a look at date formatting after this video, and I'll update it in the blueprint if there's anything wrong there. So we can just continue. Now, this is for our interested responses. So if it's positive, we want to update this sheet or um, our pipeline is what I mean, our pipeline for all the clients. Now, you could argue if it's just yourself, I would just add a different tab here within this same sheet and just add all your interested leads there. But I just like to keep them separate for all the clients all together in one single pipeline spreadsheet. So that's what we're doing in this branch. So we're going to search the row again. If the lead does not exist, we're just going to add a brand new row. And if the lead already exists, we're going to update the row. Now, this one is, we're going to continue here if it's a no longer interested or it's a meeting booked. We want to automatically delete them from the pipeline. Now, you didn't see this one disappear because, yeah, if I updated it to meeting booked, I think this was here before. I showed it earlier in the video. I got it here in the interested replies. And because we updated it to meeting booked, this lead just got deleted from our spreadsheet. So we don't have to worry about it anymore. We don't have to follow up with it anymore. So that's that. And the final one, I suppose, is just a once someone books a meeting or is no longer interested after being interested before, then we are going to unsubscribe them from all of our Smartlead campaigns. Uh, so we don't reach out to them anymore. I don't know why this keeps here. Anyway, so yeah, I have these lead categories: positive reply to no longer interested, or positive reply not a good fit. That means if they indicated they are interested but they're not a good fit or they're no longer interested, then I want to unsubscribe them from all the campaigns and remove them as well. So this is in a nutshell really how the flow works. Shouldn't be too difficult for you to just follow along and fill out all the variables, because like I said, I'm just going to put this blueprint in the description of the video, so you can just copy and paste it and put it into your own make flow and just fill out the variables. I'll just put out the template to the CRM as well. Yeah, I suppose I can just show you this real quick as well. So what I would do as well is I have some different tabs with valid, invalid, risky emails. Whoops, let me move this. And it would automatically show up. So I would, run my leads through, let's say, Million Verifier, and it would update the valid ones here, invalid ones here, and risky ones here, and then we know which one is valid, etc. But that's besides the point of this video. We might go into that in more detail in the future video, and this stuff right here as well, campaign idea. That's for another video where when I'm going to show you how I automate my metric tracking for Smartlead. So something very exciting to get into as well. So metric tracking, be on the lookout for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how my CRM flow works. That's how my lead category flow works. If you have any questions, like I said, do not hesitate to reach out to ask for help. Be more than happy to. And yeah, be on the lookout for future videos. I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.